game, but a series nonetheless. So spawning on the top left of Frost Ladder Edition, our green Protoss player, Scorah, representing clan ESFZ.
My eyes, for some reason, I was staring at the little hexagonal icon, and I read it as easy peasy. And I was like, huh. Anyway.
I don't think he's that arrogant.
And in the top right of the map, we have his purple opponent, Akirame, who's effectively saying in Japanese, surrender. We established this earlier. He's a pretty badass sounding name, actually. If you could even call it a name.
So, I was talking to Zero a little bit earlier about these players. Scorah typically plays a little bit non-standard, I would say.
Oh, fun.
He's kind of like, I equated him a little bit to Fade. Fade and Cadwa, but kind of a Diamond Master level.
Ooh.
So, definitely going to see something. I hope, at least. We'll see some pretty creative play, regardless.
Sweet.
I'm going to go out and say that. I'm pretty
all right.
Akirame is a former Diamond player from Wings of Liberty who did, I think, a year or two. I think it was 2 years. He was on a mission in Japan and came back and really was trying to get into Heart of the Swarm. Because kind of tapered off there after being away from StarCraft for so long. So he's been playing HOTS for about 10 months, and he's currently in Platinum League. So
nice.
It's going to be a good series regardless.
So, Scorah is going Nexus first, put down his pylon, scouted his opponent right away, saw that he wasn't getting Ling rushed. So far, so standard, actually. So, will be interesting to see what he does.
And a little high five there in the middle of the map. Drone and the probe. The drone and the probe, not the drobe and the probe. Excuse me. So, opening with the Forge.
Ooh. Drone slips in. What's he gonna do with it? Money's starting to build up kinda high. Berserk player, what does he have in mind for us? Queen, usual stuff. Alright.
Yeah, our Berserk
interesting.
player is going to be a little bit pretty standard. But actually looks like we have a pylon behind there. You can see
cannon rush.
Out of Scorah. 2 cannons being dropped and a pylon to block off the final gap.
This is a neat. Yeah, I'm actually a little. He must have just spontaneously decided to do this based on what he saw in the base. Usually, stuff gets started quite a bit quicker, but it's very. This is going to be very effective. He's pulling a lot of drones. It's kind of late now, and as soon as those cannons get up, he's just going to start taking serious losses here. Yeah, all these drones are dead if they stay here. All of them. He'll lose the Queen too. There's not enough.
Drop the Spine Crawlers too, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
No, he's going to probably lose this Nexus or a lot of other stuff, at least. I mean, Nexus Hatchery, sorry, that. I need to eat food real bad.
All the drones being lost, all the Zerglings being lost, the Queen being lost as well, the hatchery is going to go.
So he's going to lose all of it.
So very effective cannon. And behind that, he's got a second base secured.
Bad against ult injury, really. He's running down, he's like, oh god, kill the cannon at least. But the hatchery is gonna get anytime there. There he goes. Meanwhile, Ling's running across the map.
Third player responding by put some pressure here on Scorah. Really, I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. We have a great SimCity going on here and a cannon to back it up. And a Zealot is going to plug that hole there just in... Oh, wait, oh, there he goes.
Ooh,
okay,
yeah, it was the only way that could have gotten really bad for the Protoss.
Now, beginning the Warpgate research. Now, these Photon cannons are going to be useless here once the pylon dies. Just slowly being picked away by the Spine Crawler. And so we will be able to finally get an expansion up. Actually completely bypassing that one and going for the third. pulling his lings back as well. But his supply is absolutely devastated. Down to 18. Scores 43.
Yeah, the fact that he also took a lot of drone losses right there, it means that Akirame is not, like, pretty much everything he's going to do is going to be pretty badly hobbled. I do appreciate the fact that he didn't suicide all these lings, though. He may need them.
Sure, clean up the Philcon cannons there.
I don't blame him at all for that, because what Scorah was probably going to follow this up with was just a really massive gateway push, and he just would not have had anything. Like, no matter what he picks in that situation, he's probably going to die.
Yeah, I mean, he was so far behind. He lost a lot of workers, lost a lot of money in that base, lost spine crawlers, lost zerglings, couldn't follow it up with or couldn't counter it with ling aggression.
I think we would have seen him stay in the game if he hadn't lost anything but the hatchery, actually. Like, I don't know if he would have won, but he would probably hang in there, try expanding somewhere else, and then there'd be a big fight over some other base later in the game.
Right. All right. So game 2 between these players could be played on Yansu Ladder Edition in last season's ladder pool. I don't think it's currently in there. Scorah taking game 1. So at the time, both of these players must have been gold. Okay. Since then, Akirame has been promoted to platinum, and I'm not sure what Scorah's current rank is. On the top right of the Yansu Ladder Edition. Taking game 1, we have our green Protoss player, Scorah.
And in the bottom left of the map, we have his opponent, who unfortunately fell to a cannon rush our previous game. It is our purple Zerg, Akirame. So on this map, man, I haven't really cast a game on this in a while. Yansu.
I like this map. It's not my top favorite, but I like the contrast between the sides. Just when it comes down to aesthetics, I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I do like the attack paths here, like around the right and left sides, around that third base.
There's a lot. This map is kind of nice for the Protoss Death Ball if you can get up to it. There's a lot of nice choke points and ramps that you can force field off and get really, really efficient engagements on. The only thing that's a little bit frustrating about it for the Protoss, though, is once you take this third base, everything's real spread out. So if you get caught with a surprise Mutalisk transition, it can be really, really hard to deal with. I mean, it's usually hard to deal with, but in this case, they'll be able to run you around the map and little drone just hanging out up there. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I've seen too many Cats games in the past, but anytime I see a drone that's just kind of hanging out, being selected,
that could totally be a Roxy
I'm like,
Cats, man.
My brain just goes, this is not a normal drone. This is a drone that is.
We're checking it out.
He's got enough money.
Scorah didn't see it. He didn't see it.
Oh no! And there he is. He actually was 1-for-1.
So close.
Oh my gosh! By the way, there's Pro being annoying down here. He's gonna come down here and be like, "Why you got no base?
Oh.
Setting up to get a base. You got a base somewhere. Where's this base?"
I think his Scorah checked. He was so close, but as soon as his hatchery's done, he is going to see the creep.
Yep.
This later is so close to being able to see that hatchery, so
it's just going to just flop right onto the screen.
That's going to be a big red flag. Hey, there's creep in my base. How did that get there? Is the drone shitting on my lawn again?
Creep just falling down the side of this cliff. I've always thought this particular graphical thing was interesting because it looks like it's spreading onto the cliff face. Back here at Akirame's base, if you look at the bottom of it.
Ah. Interesting. That's actually kind of a fun texture.
Yeah.
Probably not intentional, but
I mean, it's one of those things you look at it later and go, "Oh, that's not supposed to happen," but it's fine.
Yeah. So the hatchery is done, and Scorah sees the creep and drops the forge. You have one queen in production, but that's yeah, the proxy queen. So
Oh boy. So this can do two real frustrating things. Once that queen's out, he can put a creep tumor down at the edge of this cliff and then just spread down into the main. Block that off until he gets detection. Not to mention the fact that spine crawlers and queens are going to be in the base doing damage.
this is the interesting stuff here from Akirame. Mothership core is out, but the queen can take that. And the creep tumor is dropped, but photon cannon is going down.
He's going for the main, like in-base one. He's going to be able to cancel that. There's too much DPS.
Well, he needs to keep that queen alive. Keep the queen alive. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, but he does get a spine. He does get the spine up, and that's going to be able to do something about this attempted cannon push into cannon defense. I'm not even sure what the word is when two bases are attacking each other within the same base.
We have a lot of lings rallied here to the bottom of the ramp as well. While Scorah tries to deal with this, Akirame is going to try to get in here with these lings and do some damage. What? Oh no, no, just on move command. Fast.
The question is, does he... Oh, actually would have been really good if he could have started working away at that gateway, but... Yeah, I mean, does he expand here? I mean, he knows that his opponent can't really leave for a while.
Oh no, Spine Crawler's gonna die.
Yeah, okay, never mind. There's probably not a lot he can do with this now. Drones have appeared up here for some reason. Spine Crawlers, maybe.
It was a good attempt.
Yeah,
I can't prepare.
Alright.
GG. Quick 2 games thus far. I didn't actually expect that one. The proxy hatch is not something I've seen out of Akirame before. But Scorah actually handling that pretty well. Yeah, Akirame. You almost had it. Could have done something with that. A little too careless there.
I had to go back to this, but I have a feeling his name is also a name in Japanese. Like, I think you can change the symbols around, get the exact same sounds, and it means something completely different.
Huh. I did not know that.
So I wonder, like, if he's just going for the surrender version, or if he's actually thinking like, oh, this is a character from something I like, which is possible as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Well, if he said it was with the surrender thing, then it probably is, I would assume.
Alrighty, so game 3 between Scorah and Akirame is on Habitation Station, Ladder Edition. Scorah is up 2-0 thus far.
Oh, goody. Well, we've seen a lot of games on this map. A lot of standard games, a lot of weird games, a lot of Swarm House games, especially those.
Mm-hmm. Spawning on the top left of Habitation Station. Our green Protoss player. Clan ESFZ, fucked it up, whatever. We have Scorah. Taking away that last...
Right. Sorry.
No, that's fine, go ahead.
And in the top right, we have his opponent. The failed proxy hatchery in the main base. Last game, it is Akirame.
Unfortunately, even when Woodhouse is not here, we still consistently shit the bed.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna happen. Still reflexes and whatnot.
It's alright. It's alright. So yeah, as I said, I mean, that was a pretty unexpected play from our Zerg player last game. It was unexpected. So I'm going to be interested to see if he tries anything funky this game as well. The presence of the gold is very tempting. Not usually the best decision, but...
No, I think pretty much for either player, it makes you very vulnerable to warp-ins if you're like from a warp prism or air attacks, needless void rays, oracles. Most players I've noticed tend to just expand down the left side and then take the gold later in the game. If a Zerg tends to do it, they'll do it earlier though, just because that's when they benefit from it more. Protoss will benefit from it a lot in the late game just because they can start throwing zealots everywhere with basically 0 cost.
Akirame going for the pool first. And no base just yet, although he's at 300 minerals. Okay, there he goes. So a little bit late on the hatchery, but that's alright.
Unfortunately, Scorah not quite paying attention. It's not going to be able to delay that in any way. Would normally be able to harass that a little bit. So good on him for getting that up. Now, what does he have in store for us? In-base cybernetics core, building up gas, still chrono boosting out workers, and putting a pylon down. You know, it doesn't look like he's interested in getting the Nexus just quite yet.
Let's see what he actually does with this. Wait, never mind. It's dead. Oh, it stole a gold mineral. Is he actually going for? Okay, he's just trying to keep the scout alive. Probably.
Well, I mean, he's being chased around by a drone, so
yeah. Just wondering if he's gonna place a proxy, but I doubt it.
He's basically saying, "I'm gonna make you waste as much money as I am by doing this."
Mm-hmm. 2 lings out.
I still, like, knowing his opponent, I think Akirame is being wise here, though. Just actually following this guy around like this, just in case.
Of course.
By the way, queens have really good range.
That they do, taking care of that probe. But it stole 7 minerals of the patch over here. So.
Those 7 minerals are gone from the game forever.
They are.
They'll never be spent on anything. They cannot be picked up. These 2 lings are going to walk into the base and go, huh, look at your base. Oh, that was being chrono boosted.
Ooh, and trapping all.
Don't lose that.
Oh,
he hasn't seen the Stargate yet. No, no.
Oh, and he gets it.
Oh my god. Oh, still the thing is, he got up here, he saw a couple gateways, he saw a chrono boost on this, he should be like, I'm gonna get attacked by something. And there's a spore crawler going down, so whether he's just being careful or he's guessing this effectively, I don't know, but you know what? Totally the right reaction.
Yeah, I mean, there is an Oracle on the way, it's a little over halfway done. The spore crawler is now finished, so it'll have to deal with a spore crawler and a queen. But,
2 queens down here, yeah. The Oracle.
Akirame is pretty well prepared for this.
I mean, unless he goes for Crazy Man Oracle. Which is when you basically get 4 and then start killing bases instead of workers. But he's not doing that, he's going into Phoenixes from there.
Lots of Zerglings though from Akirame.
This is the thing about the gateway late expand like this. It's gonna be real hard to hold this.
Ooh, he's actually gonna lose his Oracle. Oh no, the Oracle dies.
He did get 4 worker kills with it, but he would have preferred to keep that alive and do that at the same time. So it's not quite a good trade. I think the Lings will actually kill this a little bit before without some interference. They'll kill it a little bit before Photon Overcharge could actually come out.
First Phoenix is also out and picking away from here.
Just maneuvering with the Zealot here. Almost keeping it alive, actually.
Deploy, you are a horrible person. That is not a thing you should hope for. Dead frogs are even worse for supporting them.
He said no. Know that he's a bad person. I mean, not that he wants you to lose your computer.
I can extrapolate that he's a bad person. For wanting bad things to happen.
Okay, fair enough. Alright,
Phoenix is picking off Overlords left and right. It's incredibly annoying. Ooh, yeah, keeping it alive just barely, and it falls. Oh, it's gonna actually lose with the Phoenix.
Yeah, what that did accomplish is it saved another Overlord. Like, I think if he didn't do that, he might have lost the second one. And he got a Phoenix on top of that, which is pretty awesome. By the way, Spore Crawlers.
Ooh.
There's now a Void Ray just wandering across the map on its own. Now, I'm pretty sure a Queen beats a Queen actually can beat a Void Ray one-on-one.
Void Rays are effective in any number.
Well,
Guess
I kind of hope so for Scorah, because we're gonna find out how well this does against the Queen in just a second here.
he picks up the Spore Crawler. Oh.
He's gonna try and he's gonna create another one there. So he's trying to spread them out.
Guy gets that prismatic alignment despite really.
Yeah, you know, you got to make that beam real big to be intimidating. You know, it's just like puffing out your feathers. It doesn't really do anything, but it's helpful. Oh, and he's gonna hide it back there, so Akirame's gonna have to think about it when he's doing other things.
Scorah actually forgot to rally his probes to the mineral line at the natural.
His probe wandered in, found a spine crawler, got poked in the face and died. And meanwhile, Scorah is making more void rays and rallying them to the creep, interestingly enough.
Lots of lings scouting out the map as well. For Akirame.
Akirame.
You check that gold.
So yeah, he knows there's nothing up there. He's gonna checking up here. There's photon overcharge, so he in a couple zealots. So he can't do a ton here. He can run into the main base though.
Fleet bacon.
Beacon.
Thanks, Zero.
Now, okay, this is interesting. I guess he could be trying to go into temp. Maybe he'll make carry.
2-base fleet bacon. It's happening. It's to cover his expansion, okay? It doesn't exist yet, but it will.
I was gonna say, well, maybe if he buys enough time. He needs another base to really efficiently produce any kind of fleet beacon level units. They're incredibly expensive. He's kind of got a big bank right now, which helps, but Tempest is okay.
He's got a Tempest and a second Stargate on the way, as well as Protoss Air Weapon level 2. All on 2 bases. Definitely not sustainable, as you already said. Actually dropping a Twilight Council at the same time. This is kind of interesting. Akirame picking up on that probe, no proxy.
These probes are just not getting to scout ever. They just walk up here and boom.
Akirame also the double forge as well, spending all kinds of money. And the first Tempest is out.
Double forge, yeah. Twilight Council. This is actually kind of interesting, because if he's going into a Skytoss army, he really only wants 1 forge. For shield upgrades, maybe. He's not producing anything out of the Stargates. There we go, there are the Tempests.
Like he's over here trying to do some shenanigans with the Void Rays that actually uses that to Hydra. Now, I don't know how effective, I mean, with Micro Tempest could be pretty decent, I guess.
It's all about positioning. Yeah. They're basically a siege unit. You get them in the right spot and they'll kill everything.
Slowly.
Yeah, real slowly. Unless there's like 20 of them, but they do pretty well. The only thing they're super bad at dealing with is swarm hosts. I mean, they can pick up the swarm host at a serious distance if you get like an oracle in there and you throw on revelation, but otherwise they just usually shoot the locusts.
Which is not what you want.
Is the most unimpressive thing if you think about it. They're like capital ships. They are freaking huge, right?
And they're
flying in the atmosphere, and they're using their gigantic main gun, which is like this asteroid-sized super ball of energy and heat, and it flies down at this tiny little thing that popped out of a tiny, like also relatively tiny little thing, and it can't kill it. It just bounces off.
Yeah.
And then the other Tempests look over and they finish it off because, you know, that's embarrassing. That's what you're working with Tempest. It's one of those very like what sort of moments.
But it does 90 damage versus big things. It can kill big things, but can't kill little things.
Can't kill little things to save its life.
I'd like to see them kill that Scantron.
Oh, they could do that, yeah. They can reach it. It's kind of like trying to run out of their range and all, but they're gonna shoot at that one Zergling that's like, I'm really dead now. I mean, I got blasted from outer space. So this is like really with positioning the Tempest in this situation.
Yeah,
a little bit more up to the right, but this will work too. The problem is there's nothing to keep them anything away from the Tempest, so they're all getting shot at. He's good. He's getting behind the zealots.
You know, I almost think he's kind of playing around. I don't know. Tempest
will work though. If the Tempests are far enough away, they will kill everything.
That is true. It's just that
you can see they are doing a good job.
Seems like Colossus is also far away and do way more damage. But it worked, I guess. I mean,
I think if this army, yeah, if he didn't lose that army there, if he backed off, got 11 more Hydras, and then came over.
Dude, look at all these gateways at the third base.
The thing is, though, if he can get enough Tempest out, there's very few things that can kill a mass Tempest army. It's actually one of the strongest things in the game.
Oh. That gateway, he's got a total of 6 gateways in production here at the third.
So he's not intending on getting any more Tempests, really. He's just going to get a big gateway army, rush over here, and kill all the Hydras.
He's making Akirame prepare for more Tempest. Then he can
The Tempest came over here and was like, there's some little Zerglings scurrying around on the ground. We need to go full stop, turn, and fire.
But also, Protoss ground weapon level 2 and armor level 2 are on the way, so looks like we're going to see a big gateway push as well.
This is incredibly frustrating to deal with the Tempest. Oh, they found the Hydra Den.
Ooh.
They're going to poke it to death.
There's one Hydra here. What can it do? Oh, more showing up. He needs to get out of there now. Can they even take one out?
No,
fight fast enough.
Way too much health on these things. They're actually 450 health units.
That's a lot.
Yes, specifically designed to be able to do things like this. You could actually run around the top side and blow up the spawning pool pretty easily, I think.
And stay out of range of anything, yeah.
He really wants to kill that Hydra Den. And the thing is, he can do so much damage at a time, you can just wait for the Hydras to back off.
An unlucky Hydra.
2 unlucky Hydras. Now he's gonna wander back in and be like, no Hydra for you.
A face full of residents.
By the way, the Hydra's got smart and went around the side, but unfortunately, Tempest just went north. No, don't lose it!
No! So close!
Oh, it gets away.
He gets away. That's
See,
disheartening.
it's super frustrating. By the way, third base.
For Scorah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
did all that over third base.
All the gateways too.
And all those gateways, man.
So many gateways.
I mean, this is really nicely done. He irritated the hell out of Akirame, and he got a third base in the process.
More gateways than your body has room for.
Exactly. I was trying to get a fourth. This may be a little ambitious, but we'll see.
I don't know. Akirame also going for the fourth. He's got a lot of Hydras. They're at 1-2 right now.
El Hydra.
Exactly. Actually, so he is throwing in a couple more Tempests as well.
Okay. I mean, they were really effective just now, so I don't blame him for this at all. This is just really good.
This is a lot of Hydras. This is a lot of DPS that Akirame has coming down here to the second base.
So, if he keeps going south, yeah, this is going to be awkward. This is not a good place.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's not watching. He's going to lose one. Only one.
2.
Here comes the cover. He's not going to lose anymore.
This is a ton of DPS, but...
By the way, 2 from the north.
I mean, the Zealot Warpin is going to be distracting the fire here. The Zealots actually pulling those Hydras back a bit. Now, okay, pulling the Roaches into the fire of the Proton Cannon is a great idea there. Keeping at least a couple of Tempests alive.
Lost another one, but he still has a total of 4 because of those 2 that's... Wait, where did they go? Never mind, he still has a total of 2 because he lost all the other ones. I think with that upgrade, it gives them 40 damage. I think they can like one-shot Zerglings or something.
Fade, I was actually thinking Captain America Winter Soldier.
Me too.
I've never actually seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I've heard good things. I don't really
I've also heard bad things. I don't really know.
I've heard it gets better, like after you get a few episodes in or something.
Spire on the way to Akirame, so
Oh, all those drones just died.
Oh, great counterattack from Scorah here. So many Zealots.
He's building Roaches and Hydras and he's trying to get a Spire done.
That Zealot Tempest composition.
Gee.
GG. So what do you think about that? Zealot Tempest. With a few Stalkers thrown in there.
Normally, actually, probably not this strong. Hey, this is one of those things where, I mean, unless you run into Tempest a lot, you're gonna super over focus on them when they start harassing you like that. But it's actually a great time to just like the army's the existence of the army is to basically give tanking for the Tempest. So if you can get Lings on the other side of the map, start harassing their attempt to get a third, just keep their army count down. Eventually, when you have to engage the Tempests, they're not that good. The only thing about it is he realized that for a lot of that he had to go with basically nothing in his base. So it was risky.
Mm-hmm.
It worked really well though.